The initial idea for Dead Set came about because I was watching 24, and I'm a big fan of 24, even though it's fucking ridiculous, really. It might as well be set inside a tiger's eye or something. It just doesn't make sense. And I was watching it and I thought, this is great, but the terrorists are so unbelievable. They might as well replace them with zombies. Hey, that would be a good idea. God, I bet someone's going to do that. And then one day I was watching Big Brother, and I just thought that is the perfect place to hide during a zombie apocalypse. It's a fortified house, and it's a funny situation, and also you'd be dealing with a bunch of people who'd been chosen not to get on well with each other. So it seemed like the perfect setting. It took quite a long time to get it off the ground, because I think Channel 4's drama department thought it was a bit shit. I don't really know. And so we ended up going through the entertainment department, which is a bit odd, because it's sort of, in terms of the tone of the programme, it's a very odd mix of bleak unpleasantness, gratuitous violence, and people shitting in bins. So I suppose that really all falls under the aegis of entertainment, so that's why. Coming up with a bunch of Big Brother housemates, fictional ones, actually quite difficult, because you sort of think, your first impression whenever you watch a bunch of fuckers going into that Big Brother house on the launch night is, oh my God, there's people dressed as clowns and they're pirouetting and, oh look, there's a giant panda, or do you know what I mean? They all seem extremely bizarre. And then actually after a couple of weeks they become all mundane. They're arguing about teaspoons and shit.
He started it!
Oh, you're such an idiot.
Marky and Veronica were originally based on Maxwell and Saskia, who ends up having a nice little cameo in she's eating Andy Nyman's guts in one of the final scenes. Blinking you'll miss her, but she's there. Joplin wasn't based on anyone. Pippa was loosely based on characters like Helen, so there's always a sort of nice but dim person in there. And Space was kind of loosely based on Science. He's probably the one it's easiest to nail down, just because his name is so fucking similar, because I was really lazy, obviously, that day.
You were supposed to be...
In terms of Patrick, is Patrick a real producer? Well, certainly I've not ever met anyone like him, because I think realistically, he's such a cunt that he probably wouldn't be working for more than about 5 minutes.
Now, you should have been here 3 hours ago, in friends and family, in hospitality, with that fucking moaning Scottish bird's mother.
Patrick's a bit of a caricature, I think, of kind of what you would expect a producer like that to be like, really. He's a bit like, I suppose he's a bit like the Sheriff of Nottingham in Prince of Thieves. So he's a bit of a pantomime villain, and also it's just, I don't know, it was just a good opportunity to go to town writing really unpleasant dialogue. I don't think anyone's ever done a zombie TV series. I used to like Hammer House of Horror and things like Tales of the Unexpected and The Twilight Zone often used to dip into horror, but there haven't been that many horror series, so it feels like sort of uncharted territory, weirdly. TV should scare people, should terrify people. I hope kids stay up late and watch this and come away traumatised and then fucking kill each other in 15 years' time. There's fewer fucking human beings in this rotting world. Why do I always say things like that? What is the matter with me? I don't mean it. Because obviously the story is preposterous, it's ridiculous, it's dead people running around. So you're constantly trying to sort of not linger on things too much and just keep things whipping along so that nobody really stops and goes, yeah, but hang on. Our zombies run rather than stagger around. The shamblers, I like to call the old Romero-style ones shamblers. I loved the original Dawn of the Dead, and in that, the threat of the zombies is their sheer number, and they're kind of comical when you first see them going, oh. Running zombies are sort of better for a couple of reasons. One, they've been done now, and so if you go back to the shambling ones, you're automatically kind of in Shaun of the Dead territory, and I loved Shaun of the Dead, but we wanted to do something that was a bit more... in Shaun of the Dead, they were aware, really, that they were in a fiction. So we wanted to do something where our characters believe what's happening, and it's a real massive threat that's going on. So running zombies seemed to make more sense. I've just always loved zombie films. Obviously there's the Romero canon, which are classics. There's several little tributes to them going on within this. There's a line from Marky in the first episode where he says, "They're coming to get you, Barbara," which is a quote from Night of the Living Dead. Also in the last episode where Patrick gets pulled apart and he's he's berating the zombies. That's sort of a little nod to a similar moment in Day of the Dead. I'm quite ambivalent when it comes to reality shows in general, because on the one hand, sometimes you watch them and you think this is a sign of the apocalypse. It's got to be, you know, when, I don't know, if you've got Pete Beale having his scrotum being weighed or something, or, you know, Dean Gaffney eating a kangaroo's anus on television or something, and you think, well, where do we go from here as a people? But on the other hand, I watch them and I get drawn into them.
Oh, God, it's a Big Brother live feed.
My position is probably summed up actually by Joplin, the very first line, I think, in the programme, which is where he says, what's television anyway, but a big arrow pointing away from the problem, which is not to say that the arrow should be dismantled, just that that's what I think maybe it is. And then what have I done? What have I done about it? I've gone and bloody written a bloody thing with a load of bloody zombies running around. There's a TV show that people will probably watch, and then their houses will burn down because they're not paying attention to the chip pan fire taking place in their kitchen, the stupid cunts, and it's all my fault.